Good morning. I'm watching Jason live. And this is what I'm watching. TrendSpider. And I have to turn on my Do Not Disturb. And I'm going to hit the thumbs up button. Jason's reading. It's on TrendSpider's live channel. But it comes out, what he's talking about is, oh, and come on. Morning, Bill. Mr. Murray. If you're nasty. I'm going to turn Jason off in a little bit. Well, let me mute him. I'll leave him up if you want to watch him instead of me. But I'm going to do some scans. I don't have much to talk about today because what I'm going to do... Oh, I do have to say. Boeing. Insider. Get out now. 787 Dreamliner issue could be bigger. Morning, Joe. I didn't even put this up. By the way, let's look at this one. OCEA. Look at this. Yeah, it went to 2660 yesterday. Let's go to, you know what? We're going to look at 5-minute candles. This was yesterday. Let's expand this a little bit. Yeah. Shrink it down a little bit. These are 5-minute candles. So this is yesterday at open. I mean, it started way down here at like $3. It went to $26 yesterday. This is a total Zephin, James, total degenerate play. And then you had this gap. Well, you've got this gap here between 18 and 22. Let me turn on. Hold on. I'm going to turn this on. Let's look at fair gap value. So there's a fair gap value up here until 12:11. I'm going to start my Active Trader Pro. I'm going to quit Active Trader Pro. Let's force quit it. Force quit. I'm going to force quit preview. Force quit. Bum, 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 bum. And my Active Trader Pro should start up. But this was crazy. This was just nuts. I'm going to close Jason down. I'm looking at the chat of these people on the TrendSpider live stream. I like Jason. I'd tell him to get a little bit better background, but then again, my background sucks as well. I have you zoomed in on me. Because I have old eyes. That fair gap value is nice. Fair gap value down. Collapse this list. And let's go and do some scans. And if you didn't know, there's this new thing called data flow, which I've found interesting. There's a bunch of different things. But let's see. We can bring up earnings. What's the earnings? Here's the analyst estimates. Needham. Let me see. Oh, is this going to freeze on me now? I think it froze on me. Default workspace. And we're going to go. I don't want to see CIXS. There we go. I guess it changed. So this data flow is it's new in TrendSpider. I like it. Text me. Hold on 1 second. I'm setting up my my Active Trader Pro. And then I'm going to start the podcast probably pretty quickly. Because I want to get outside again today. I did 12 miles yesterday. Scan, recap. We're going to do recap. And I'm going to go back. It was a 4-day week this week. So we're going to go back to Tuesday because Friday was a lot. Yep, Tuesday. Tuesday, we'll look at the scans from Tuesday. Boom, 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 boom. Wednesday, and we don't really go over Thursday. I mean, I can, but of course, Pong. Boyle, I said if it held 5, we're off to the races. And it held 5 overnight, so I was slightly fearful that it would fall to 4 and that we were going to see more downside, but I do think Boyle has found a leg. And we'll look at Thursday. But good morning, Hung. Good to see you again. Let's go scans, and I'm going to scan some. We're going to use Market Scanner. Daily Stock Pick Market Scanner. We'll go our brokerage holdings. I don't expect to see a lot in scans, but in core holdings, NVIDIA crossed up, which you'd be crazy to buy NVIDIA at this level. In my opinion, short term, not long term, but short term, definitely. I think you can get a better price on it. Energy names. Nothing in our energy named. Levered ETF. Nothing in levered ETFs. Let's see the Vanguard ETFs. Nothing in there. Spider sectors. Nothing in there. You know, I do want to see. I want to go through this. There's communication services. You got this gap up here, which I've talked about. I mean, it's only 55, so it's not huge dispersed placement, but you got that gap covered. XLE has been a dog, just an absolute dog this whole month. And you got gaps below. See how it's almost covered that gap? Almost completely. I think it's heading back there. I mean, it's only 83.67. It's $1 down. But you got all this gap up here. A couple dollars up to 90. So I think energy's still in play. You know what? I'll look at that. We'll look at energy XLE. I do want XLF is another one. I think you've got some room. I like that too. I know, Hung. Rule number 1 of being retired: you get lazy. But I do have to do one. I promise you, I got one in my mind. I just have to put it on video. And I have to do it. And here's the thing: do I think it's a turnaround for Boyle? Your guess is as good as mine. All I can tell you is most of the articles and the information that I read about natural gas being $2. And here's the other thing that you have to know. LNG, Cheniere, they reported earnings. That was back here on yesterday, I think it was. Let's go to our strategy tester and we'll show you the 4-hour algorithm on this one. Cheniere, I said, buy it under 150. You should absolutely 100% buy it under 150. I didn't buy it. I should have, but I did not. Record earnings. $15.78 per share. Crazy yesterday. In fact, I think it was up. It's down slightly at 161 right now. But I think this one, the target is under 150. I mean, you're just trading over the 200. So it's not crazy to think that you're going to have a golden cross in this one if natural gas continues to go up. This is just a nutso one. But yeah. And Brian, I'll look at those on YouTube Live if I'm just ping me. I'm not going to add them to the podcast. I'm just going over some general stuff. I mean, look at that. That is healthcare. I think XLV is an absolute buy. It's under the 200-day. So if you want to put your money into an ETF, all right, here, let's go to Seeking Alpha. I think I can do charts in Seeking Alpha like I do. I don't think charting. Let's see. XLV. And then look at this. 3-year. Look, XLB beats the S&P. 3-year. 5-year. Let's sign in. There we go. My apologies. Hey, there's nobody there. There is nobody there. Yeah, so 5 years. Look at XLV. It beats the S&P. I mean, it just beats the S&P. 5-day, the S&P's, it trades right along with it. 1 month. Look at the 1 month. You're down 3%. S&P's up. 6 month. Look at the XLV. Year to date, SPY's up. 1 year, if I'm down on XLV and I'm thinking that we're heading into a recession, SLV is a good one. Let me see. Can I add a comparison? UNH. I don't think I can compare. There we go. Look at that. The XLV is beating UNH on year to date. 1 year, UNH is beating everything for 1 year. But this is a great tool. Man, I got to move this over. I'm moving this next to FinViz. This is going to be my comparison tool. I was playing around with this, and it worked on my laptop. It didn't work on this computer for some reason, but it seems to be working now that I logged in. So XLI, it's broken down. XLB, XLRE has broken down. XLK, which is technology, broken down. XLU, utilities, broken down. XLY, still over the 200-day. So I like this sector. If you're on TrendSpider and you don't have this, let me know and I can share it with you. If you're not on TrendSpider, nothing I can do for you because it doesn't share outside of TrendSpider. But market scanner, we did the spider sectors. Let's do my own personal watch list. Let's see if anything crossed up. Ooh, there was Tanger. I like Tanger. I'm telling you, they just reported earnings. Let's see, SKT. You know what? I'm gonna do let's do this. SKT, and then look at that compared to the S&P, up 16% over 1 year. Let's add a comparison. SPG. I geek out on this stuff. PG. What is it? Why is Simon Property Group not getting up here? No. SPG, because it keeps changing it to SPY. And let's add a comparison. SKT. This is what it was doing last time. Okay, we'll compare all three. There we go. Okay. Wow, SKT. Look at how much SKT outperforms. Wow. Okay, I'm putting in SKT. That's an interesting one. I like this one. I mean, it's got a fairly high PE. The dividend's 4.68. Year to date, it's up 4.76. Its 52-week high is 20, so you're only 7% below that, but I like it. Again, go to an outlet mall. It's one of my favorites. Between Simon and Tanger, you're going to find me over there. Lift crossed up, match, Enphase crossed up. This is an energy name I like. Fiverr crossed up. Do I recommend it? Right after earnings, above the 200-day. I mean, that one's just flying. No, I'm not going to recommend it. Let's go to, I can do ARC Holdings, but I don't like a lot of them. No. Regeneron is the only one that maybe, but this one's just too expensive. We won't do any ARC Holdings. We will do the Dow 30. Nope, nothing on the Dow 30. S&P. Nope, NASDAQ 100. Sorry, NASDAQ 100 first. There we go. And the dogs will probably start barking again. WBD's an interesting one. They just had their earnings. I'm going to go over Netflix. I'm not going to bring it up. They're still losing money. They're changing their strategy. S&P 100. Bum, 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 bum. NVIDIA, Oracle. Oracle crossed up. It's a secondary cross up. Their earnings are coming up. Interesting. I like Oracle because they basically buy their stock back and retire it. Okay, now I got a lot to freaking go over. I wanted to keep this short, but let me help you Help me. Okay. PC's coming out, by the way, at 8:30. I'm not going to worry about financial markets. I'm going to do the recap. Notes. And oh, what do I have to worry about? AKO.A. What the hell is AKO.A? Let's do the 4 hour. You've missed it. See the 38% gain? You've missed it. Algorithm has you out, Brian, just so you know. DEO. I don't even know what DEO is. Diego. You'd be in at 174.12, but I'd be a little bit worried of the gaps down below. Are they making money? Let's see. Diego. Yeah, they are. 2% dividend. It's a beverage company. Year to date, they're down 1%. Upgrade from Bernstein from 215 to 225. Their 52-week high is 212, so you're 17% below that. Nothing insider. Markets alcoholic beverages. Short sale volume, not short interest for DEO is 49%. Short interest is only 1 million shares, so it's not a crazy short, but short interest. Are there earnings coming up or something? There's an ex-dividend date. I don't think that's a hard one. ADRY. I don't even see it. It doesn't come up. ADRY. Am I reading that right? ADRY? Not seeing anything. Let me look at this chart. See how we were trending down? This is my baby. Performance year to date up 14%. Everybody's about 150 to 170. You can see the 6 stocks that Warren Buffett's invested in. Here's all the insider. It's all sales. There's not a whole lot of insider buying on Apple. They grant shares inside. So you don't see a ton. When you start seeing, if Tim Cook starts showing up on this list, he's exiting the business. But you can, I mean, this is no joke. That's an SVP selling for $25 million. That's a different SVP selling for $25 million. That's a senior vice president, again, $16 million. This is a different senior vice president selling for $27 million, whereas she sold for $16 million. I mean, imagine being an SVP at Apple and just selling your stock and making $30, $40 million in a year. That'd be kind of nice. The COO sold in April for $18 million. The senior vice president, it's going to be between 140 and 180. I think that's kind of where you're trading at Apple until we get a car. Until there's something that blows it out of the water. Like the news yesterday or the day before about them being able to measure blood glucose through the watch. I mean, that's huge. And here, Boyle. I mean, it has confirmation here. I don't know why this damn thing isn't showing up. Nope. It's lost its confirmation. So it's down here about 538. It looks like 548. But there was one guy on YouTube who commented on my video that he's got 11,000 shares in here at $4.90, I think he said. So kudos. I mean, that's a nice $5,000 gain. You know, I don't know why. I'm going to restart Active Trader Pro. Quit Active Trader Pro. Yes. And I don't know. Did I get an alert? I didn't. I didn't get an alert. I should have gotten an alert that because I allowed this damn thing to go through. But let me restart Active Trader Pro. Force quit. Okay, we don't have that open, so we're going to open it up now. I probably should restart the computer, to be honest with you. But let me look at the core portfolio real quick off of our 4-hour algorithm. We're out of Apple with a 17% gain. We are out of Amazon with a 17% gain. And you're on the downside there. You are still in. Nope, you're out of Boeing with a slight loss, but that's coming off a 58% gain. Bank of America, you're out of that, coming off a 3% gain. I still think right under the 200-day, I think you could buy that one. No problem. No problem whatsoever. Oh, come on. I mistyped my password. And it's getting the data. I ran into a neighbor yesterday, and she was like, "Oh my God, what happened to your hair? I don't even recognize you." So, your boy may be getting shaved this weekend. It all may be gone. It didn't even ask me my two-factor authentication. Whoop, whoop. That's a good thing, because hopefully that means that it held on to the cookie or whatever. JPST. Yeah, see, it ain't coming up. It doesn't seem to like those filters for some reason. There we go. Now they're up. Cleveland Cliffs under 20. It's gone under and over and under. It's under 20 again. Still hasn't covered this gap down to 1930. In pre-market, it is at 1988. A good year. I graduated high school. Costco is under 500. You're out of that one with a nice 9% gain. Disney is almost under 100, 175. I think you're coming down to probably this gap around 96. Your boy bought up here at about 112. I think it ran to 120. Should have probably sold for a quick one-day gain, but I don't mind holding. It was a small position. Devon Energy is down at 54.80 in the pre-market. It hasn't gained, hasn't done that cross-up, but it probably will. I will probably be buying. I didn't buy yesterday. Didn't have confirmation, so I didn't feel comfortable. Google, you're out with a 7% gain, but doesn't look like it's turning around super fast. Goldman Sachs, you're out with a 2% gain. Coke, under 60. It's at 59.95. I mean, if you don't have a position in Coke, just under 60, man, just buy it and forget it. Meta's an interesting one. You're out with a 44% gain after this 22% gain. So you've almost made about 60, 70%, somewhere in that neighborhood. I think you might come down to this 154. I have a social media update. MPLX, you're in at 34.75, 34.58. You're at 34.71. Merck, we have in here as a buy, 105.81. You're at 109. Moderna, I have in the core portfolio, but I trade it. And I mean, just after earnings, you're going to get some type of announcement from their CEO. Core price index. Wow. We took another leg lower. Another leg lower because there's still inflation. It didn't go up much. Went up by 0.6%. Yeah. Microsoft, we are out with a 9% gain. NVIDIA, I think it just crossed up 239.58. 236.58 is where it says to buy. It's at 234. I think it's going to take some time off. Oxy, did we get in? No, we haven't gotten back in, but I'll be buying some of that, I believe, because it's under 60, 59.26. PanW, we are in this one from 138. It's kind of getting a button hook, but the earnings kind of popped it. Pepsi, morning, Larry. Pepsi is fantastic. I don't know that I'd buy it here. I say the 170 is more the price point that I say buy it, but they had great earnings. QCLN, you're out with a 12% gain, but it's probably going to cross up here soon because it's under the 200-day. Qualcomm 124.68. You're kind of covered this gap, so that gap has kind of been covered. All these gaps have been covered. There's nothing. I think that if you want to buy at 126, you know what? I'll go over these on the podcast. Okay. Nah. What am I going to do on the podcast? Where are we? My dogs are going to... Let me look at VOO. This is one I'm waiting for 358. I mean, we broke through that 50-day. No reason to think that this 200-day isn't in play. I'm going to pull this volume shelf over here to the August highs. And see? I mean, volume shelf is right there at 360. I may just buy at 368. I mean, that's not a huge percentage-wise. But I like spot. Let's look at the Qs. Where are we on the... I think we're... SQQQ is still your friend. That's why I haven't been selling it. Yeah. The MACD's still in cross down. SQQ is still your play, but I'm out of my Q, the triple levered stuff. I'm not in Boyle. Full disclosure, I'm not in Boyle. But I think you do have confirmation. If we look at this one and we zoom in a little bit, your confirmation is at 527, and you're trading at 550 in the pre-market. So it doesn't have confirmation in the pre-market on my 5-minute chart, but here on the algorithm chart, let's look at the 65 minutes. So if you're trading Boyle, I probably should do this on the podcast, but you guys get sneak peek, you 8 people who are watching. Boyle, you're in since, what's that, $5.13? Yeah. So $5.13, and you're up at 550. Not a bad couple of candles. You got confirmation. It's well above that. As long as you stay above 520, you've got confirmation on this 65-minute as well. So, okay, let's see. I'm going to start the podcast. Good morning. It is Friday, February 24th, and PCE just came in. Looks like inflation is not going back. So, personal income was up 1.8% versus expected 1.2%. Markets took a significant leg back. So, if you're playing at something like an SPXU, like an SQQQ, you're fine. If you're not, you probably heard on the other side. TQQQ, let's see what TQQQ is trading for. I still say TQQQ is heading towards 20. The 200-day is right at 2234. I think that's probably a support level. TQQQ, the 65-minute algorithm does have you in right now on TQQQ, but in pre-market, it's at 2185. I think you're heading down towards 20. if you want to be honest. I don't wait for that one to kind of, in my mind, it's not a buy on a Friday. Just kind of there. I do have a note to myself, and I will be doing this over the weekend, to do a video, a 1-minute stock analysis on YouTube for Netflix. I think this is one that I have in my sights. It has covered the gap down. I believe that this one could be a buy. We'll see how it plays out today. It is trading at 317 in pre-market. The support level is probably the 200-day, and that's 300. I said that 300 was kind of the pivot point on this one, but I will do a 1-minute stock analysis on YouTube. So if you're not subscribed to YouTube, go over to YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the alerts, because you can also watch me live in the mornings if you want. That's where I tape this this podcast. But I wanted to start out by saying, hey, I think we're heading into a down. And, if you look at the SPY, the trend is down. The 200-day is moving up on this is our 4-hour algorithm, which moves faster than daily. It's 2 candles a day rather than a 1 candle a day. The MACD is clearly moving down. The RSI is at 41. It's coming off at 35, which was the morning candle, which was a red candle yesterday, and then we had a green candle in the afternoon because it opened at 397. It closed at 400, so you were up 3 points in the afternoon. I think you're going to start to see red candles. There is a lot of red on my screen in the core portfolio. So I would expect that we see kind of a down to start on the day. If you get some type of news in the afternoon, maybe you get picked up. But I would say, hey, we've run. If you look at a monthly candle of SPY, and we just let's go to a weekly candle of SPY, we're down a little bit. That kind of button hook is happening on the weekly. The MACD is still above the strike line, and the RSI is still at 51. So from a weekly perspective, yeah, it seems like we've been going down because you've had 3 down days in a row. Three weekly down weeks. But we're really just kind of hovering. You're hovering around 4,000 on the S&P. So you're not moving that much. It does seem like, doom and gloom is happening with all of these kind of quick, big moves. But from a weekly perspective, you're just not moving much. 4,000 is kind of hitting it. And you just on the weekly just broke the 50-day. The 200-day for support, by the way, if you're looking at the weekly chart of SPY, the 200-day is at 371. That's a major move down. If you want to see actual support, that's where the support would happen. The October lows, you got down to 348, and that broke the 200-day. So that 200-day is an important level. 370 is where it's at. That's kind of my take on it. But I will head over to YouTube, and I'll be doing a Netflix video like I did on Boyle last week. And if you invested in Boyle last week, we were at the $4 mark. And when I did that video, I think I said, hey, if it holds 4, then we're probably in an uptrend. It held 4. On our 4-hour algorithm, the buy-in was yesterday at $5.22. Today in pre-market, you're at $5.49. It does look like natural gas is in upward trend, and it is changing. I would be very careful. I wouldn't hold this over the weekend. I would probably take my gains and be perfectly happy. That's just me. It's a triple levered ETF. Doesn't mean that, natural gas is at $2 per therm or something like that here. It's still at $6 over in Europe, but you're heading into the summer. Natural gas is historically just doesn't get used in the summer as much, I should say. But Europe is at its storage capacity, so they're just not seeing it. Now, when you talk about natural gas, LNG, Cheniere Energy, they had their earnings yesterday, blew it out of the water. I said buy this one under 150. It popped to 160. You're up just at the 200-day right now. Not a huge deal to think about buying now because the RSI is at 71. I probably wouldn't. I would wait for this one to get back in the 150s. But if you want to buy this one at the 150s, what they showed was $15.78 per share. That's what they made, $15.78 per share. They showed that they can take cheap gas from the U.S., transport it over to Europe, and sell it at a significant gain. So natural gas, that's one. I wanted to look at alert you. Warrior Trader, which I watch, I think he's an excellent trader. His fundamentals are fantastic. He looked at OCEA yesterday, and he said it was a banana squeeze. I still have no clue what a banana squeeze is. He explains it. He opened up his course so you can look at it. But OCEA yesterday, this is a 30-minute chart. And so at 9:30 yesterday, it opened at $6.45. It went up to $26.60. So it is now back down at $10.74. That's where it closed. Pre-market, it's at $8.31, so it's down 23% from where it closed. I would not buy into this one. I just want to show you with penny stocks and short stuff and his identifiers, he is a risky trader, and he puts a lot of money on the line. He trades with margin. The guy doesn't seem to be super rich, so he probably makes his money off of charging you for his courses and stuff like that. But his fundamentals are sound. He's a good, solid teacher, but he is risky. He's not going to make you rich overnight. He will probably lose you money before you make money. We talked about Square yesterday, and Square crushed earnings with their revenues. Earnings per share were down 22 cents per share, but their overall earnings and their outlook pushed them up. They're up 5% at $78. So I forget who it was. Let me see. Who asked me to look at Square yesterday? Somebody asked me to look at Square. And I said, hey, it's not a great strategy to wait for earnings and then try and rebuy it, blah, blah, blah. I just didn't think it was good. It had been beaten down before, but they're up. You could have tried that strategy. Personally, I just own it. I don't have it in the core portfolio. I hold quite a bit of this one. The MACD looks like it's crossing up. Right now, you'd be out of it, but it looks like it's crossing up. The fundamentals are there. It's a good property. But initially when they announced their earnings, by the way, it was down at, I think, $70, and then it popped. So it was interesting. Sam on Facebook, and I'm just going to go through a couple of requests here. Sam on Facebook wanted me to look at Purple Innovations. I think this is the mattress company, PRPL. I did the bed in a box thing, I want to say 6 years, maybe 7 years ago, and I bought Brooklyn Bedding. And ironically, I made a ton of money off of Brooklyn Bedding because they would pay me. I had a YouTube video that showed me sleeping. It was an amazing bed. Ironically, Sam, Purple just had a cross up on our 4-hour algorithm at $4.42. The earnings are coming up on March 7th. Let's take a look at some of the fundamentals. So Purple is not making money. They don't have a PE. Their target price is $6.48. You're trading at $4.42. Your 52-week high is $7.97. You're 44% below that, so you do have some good upside to the 52-week. Your 52-week low is $2.65, which you are 66% above. So far, year to date, you're down 7%. November 22nd, November 10th, there was an upgrade, hold to buy with a $6 price target. So you're trading at $4.42, $6 price target. There's an article right here from yesterday from Zacks, down 26.6% in 4 weeks. Here's why Purple looks ripe for a turnaround. If you believe them, I don't. So I know about here's what I know about Purple, and this is what's dangerous. Is Purple had some videos, and the only reason I know this is because I was using it against Purple in my video promoting Brooklyn Bedding. Purple had a powder that was coming off of their mattresses when you pulled off the cover. And that powder, when quote-unquote investigated, and when I say investigate, I mean some soccer mom probably said, oh, it causes cancer. But it was dangerous. And Bedding memory foam is a dangerous material. There's still some question, is it good to sleep on, blah, blah, blah. But the reality of it is there is some dangers in that. This purple had an actual, you could see it. So when you popped on the mattress, you would see all this purple dust pop up. And they had the cover on it. I think they've come out of that, blah, blah, blah. But the good news is, and here's the crazy thing, you had Coliseum Capital Management buy, they're a director, at $4.50. They bought $26 million worth of shares, 46 million shares at a cost of $4.50. And that was on, let's see, February 13th. So they kissed the bride right before Valentine's Day. You're trading at $4.42. They bought it at a higher price. So it could be an interesting kind of play around earnings. This one might be, one that you found. Now, I do want to say, I don't think that the mattress game is what it once was. I will say that I think the mattress game is difficult. I think you're a commodity at this point. But the gaps down here scare the F out of me. You haven't covered this gap down to 352. It was just recent. There is a gap up here, but it is above the 200-day. So while the algorithm gets you in at 442, it does not know what the hell is going to happen here at earnings. You made 3 cents per share on the last one, but as far as like gap earnings and stuff like that, you make cents per share, but you probably aren't turning a profit. It'll be interesting. I mean, I don't know where to guide you on this one. I can tell you that the upside, the $6.76 that it made on February 2nd, and you're only, 22 days, 3 weeks down, and you've gone down this far, it might turn up over that 200-day. I mean, if you look at it, let's look at it daily on this one just to see. You're touching the 200-day. You're using that 200-day as support. So the gap up here between 499 and 547 might be a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger than the gap down here if you don't close below the 200-day today. So if you close below 423 and you're at 441, if you close below 423, which could be a possibility with that volume shelf right there. But if you close below 423, I would say before earnings. I shouldn't say today. Before earnings. If you go below 423, you probably have a bottom. That this gap down here is more of a lingerer. But I don't think you're getting up here to 16 again. I think your top is probably over here. You can clearly see here if I draw this. There's your resistance at 629, 616, somewhere in that neighborhood. So it's a good 20% gain. Nothing crazy, but I like it. Good call on that one. James wanted me to look at DECK, Decker's Outdoor Corporation. I think this is the decking materials one. We'll take a look at it. It's been a high flyer. This one's a high flyer. You are well above your 200-day on the algorithm. The algorithm has you out of this. The 200 days at 381. You've got this gap down here between 370 and 364. They are showing huge earnings. You go from 251. You went from 842 to 251. And then you go $1.66. Then you go 380 and then 1048. And they're past their earnings right now. Let's look at DECK. Their PE is 21. So it's super for consumer cyclical footwear. Oh, this is the footwear. Deckers. I think this is the one. DECK. This is the one that I think Warren Buffett said was his biggest mistake back in the 70s or something. Dude, these are boomer shoes. Deckers Outdoor Corporation today with designs, markets, and distributors footwear. Yeah, I had these as soccer shoes. No insider buys, all sales around 400 for the last year, between 350 and 400. So that's kind of your range. They're at 404. Their 52-week high is 433. You're only 6% below that. Year to date, you're up 1.22%. The average target price, the mean target price, I should say, is $485. I think you're buying into strength there. My preference would be if you're looking at buying this one, Wait until it's back down here at 380. I mean, that jump in earnings from $3.80 to $10.48, huge. When they made $251 back here and you were trading at $234, if you knew that they were going to turn around and they were going to make, I mean, they made $1.66, but they probably had great forward guidance. This probably was a supply chain thing or something like that. Just so you know, though, the algorithm has you out, but the algorithm over 1,000 candles, which is 2 years, only makes you 9%. Buying and holding the actual stock makes you 21%. Your average win is 9%, but you only win 32% of the time. So I wouldn't use the algorithm to kind of buy this one because it just doesn't perform well. As far as a 65-minute, let's look at a day trade on this one to see. You are moving down, so I wouldn't think that this 65-minute one would have you in, but the candles are different. Yeah, it has you in at 401.19. You're at 404. It's below the 200-day on this chart, which is 65-minute chart. This algorithm over 7,000 candles, which is about 5 years, makes you 231% versus the buying and holding the stocks makes you 257%. So it's a little bit probably stretched in my opinion, but that's my thing. We had news on Boeing. Their 787 Dreamliner has a fuselage issue, or they have to take the fuselage off to fix the issue, blah, blah, blah. They're saying, hey, it doesn't affect current planes in production. It just affects the planes in production, not the planes in flight. That's what they said. BS. We have an insider that says, hey, you have to. It's carbon fiber, or the plane isn't just aluminum, so you can't just cut it out kind of thing. You have to take the skin off, blah, blah, blah. Super, super difficult fix. Now, the question is management going to take this one seriously? Is this another MAX issue where they say, it's no big deal, and then another plane crashes? Who knows? But the 787 Dreamliner is one of their big ones. Our insider kind of says, hey, this is just the beginning of it. And he's not giving us inside information as far as like, there's planes and, we're not selling this. There's a big deal coming up. Here are the financials. He's just saying, hey, from an insider standpoint, somebody that works with Boeing, there's issues and they're bigger. So I would probably stay away from Boeing. They're down at 201 in the pre-market. It is the weekly stock picks pick. He does not, news will always kill a stock. News like that. So there's nothing he can do about it, but yeah. There was a Meta announced that they had that $11, and I didn't think of this. But Pinterest, is the one social media app that I don't think has a paid platform, a pay-to-play. I think you could be seeing something in that one. And we had a cross up here at 25.57. You're trading at 24.91. You're down 2% in pre-market. This might be one if it drifts under the 200-day at 24.50. 24.50 is where I would say. If it drifts under there, you've already had your earnings. You've had your catalyst on this one. You have, I think, Elliott Management is the kind of the management group that's in this one. But Pins, it's the only social media that doesn't have a pay-to-play. Even Snap has a pay-to-play. So if you get that announcement, I think you could see a pop. And again, it's under that 25.27. We're trading at 24.91. You're down big on the pre-market. 340 points down on the Dow, 200 points down on the NASDAQ. So there were a couple. I went over the spider sectors, and there's a couple of sectors that I want to point out that look like they could be in for a rebound. And one of them is the energy sector, XLE. You're under the 200-day, and you have a gap up here between 86 and 87. The energy sector has just been basically shit on for the last month. You can see at the January highs up here, you were at 92. The algorithm got you out, weighted you all the way down to 87, got you back in at 87, and then you just had a bad couple of weeks. Well, you're down again. Your RSI is at 38. Your MACD is down below. You wouldn't be in this as far as the algorithm goes, but I wanted to show you because it does look like it's beaten down. Now, here's the thing. You're under the 200-day. There's a gap here between 74 and 72. That one's dangerous because if you're going back to the October lows and we're heading into a recession, that's right in the crosshairs, that $70 price point. While energy is most everyone's pick for a good sector this year, look at how it's run since 2021. This is December 2021, all the way on the left, where it was selling at 55. You're at 84 right now, and that's just 2 years. And so if you think that a 5 to 10% gain per year is average, you're trading at 55 and you're up at 85. That's a, 60% gain in 2 years? So just be careful, but I do think the XLE, I think energy's just got its place. I think XLE is one to look at. So if you're looking at some energy names, I think it's been beaten down. Another one that's come down significantly is the XLF. It is not at the 200-day. The 200-day on the XLF is trading right at about 34.50. This is at 35.65. It just broke the 50-day. The algorithm got you out with a 6% gain. It hasn't gotten you back in. The RSI is at 38. The MACD is still crossing down. I wanted to point this out. I think because we are in a rising interest rate environment, I think the XLF is an interesting one. Now, XLV, and I want to go to a Seeking Alpha to chart this one, but XLV has just been deadly since December when you were up here at 139. You're only down at 130, so it's not an enormous move, but you haven't had a win in the algorithm for quite a long time. And the MACD has just been basically straight lined. The RSI is at 41. Here's what I want to show you. If I go over to Seeking Alpha and I type in XLV for healthcare, and I look at this, 1 year, the XLV is up 2.8 versus the S&P is down 5%. Okay, that's 1 year. Year to date, the S&P is up 4.92 and XLV is down 3.8. So you're looking at a fairly beaten down sector year to date versus the S&P, which is up. Here's the interesting one. XLV is up 29.97 on a 3-year basis, whereas the S&P is only up 24.38. So from a 3-year basis, it beats it. From a 5-year basis, the XLV is up 51.65%. The S&P is up 44.35. So the XLV, there was a channel, and I believe I put this on my YouTube, I think, as a post. But there's a channel that did an analysis of this, and the XLV actually beats the S&P. He's a subscriber of Seeking Alpha, so he can do 10-year charts as well. But it's interesting. XLV beats it, and you can see the XLV has been beaten down. If we go and just let's do a yearly chart, we're going to do a monthly chart of the XLV. Look at that. Ever since 2009, you've been in a huge, huge upward trend. The only time you broke the 50-day was COVID, and that was it. So you're getting this little button hook from a kind of monthly basis, but it's just an upward trend. That 200-day is just straight up. The 50-day is straight up. So it's been a good ETF. Kind of like it. We're going to review some of our scans. So Pfizer scanned up. I said I like this one at 50. This one has continued to just slide down. Today it's at 42.11. The algorithm had got you in at 42.81, but it got you right back out. There's a gap up here between 44 and 45 around there. I think you're fine in this one. Again, it's a healthcare one. I think healthcare's just been beaten down. We showed that one. KOLD had a cross up on Tuesday, and ironically, it was up when you look at this one. It started out at 76.81. It got all the way up to 82. So that day it had a great cross up, great move. Hasn't gotten you out of the 4-hour algorithm yet, but Boyle has gotten you in, and Boyle has moved big. So I would be out of KOLD because I do think that Boyle has the confirmation now. NEO, it got you in at 10.05 on February 21st. Got you out yesterday at a 2% loss. right before their earnings. Right before their earnings. It's up to you if you want to hold it. They're still just burning through cash. Same Chinese car company, XPEV, well, I should say another one. Got you in at 943, got you out with a just a 0.0 something percent loss. It's trading at $8.79. It got you in at 943. So if you're still holding it, not that great of a trade. PENN, which was the gambling stock, this got you in at 31.80. It got you right back out with a 3% loss. It is currently trading at $30.85. Closed yesterday at $31.30. So I'd probably stay out of that one. Beyond Meat, this was a huge cross because you are trading well up on this. It traded at $17.13. It's trading at $19.20 right now. So you've got a nice, 10-15% gain in that one. They blew away their earnings. They lost way less than people thought they would. So Fubo TV was one that crossed up on Tuesday. This one got you in at $2.33. It got you out with a 4% loss, but got you right back in. It's trading at $2.23 right now. So not a good week for cross-ups. WBD, this is the Warner Brothers streaming service, which had another cross-up, I believe. It got you out here on February 13th, and I said, be careful because their earnings are coming up, and this one could turn south. 15.28 was the cross-up. Today, you're trading in pre-market right at that, at 15.28. You got all the way up to, it looks like, 15.79. So you didn't make quite 10%, but it's been taken down. Just the market's getting taken down. Wednesday, we had two cross-ups, and that was Travelers, which crossed up at 185. You're trading at 185.47. So you're still up. This is just a boring insurance company. And it was Wednesday. You're only Friday, so I wouldn't expect a huge one. Medtronics was the other one that crossed up. I think it was right after earnings. Crossed up at 86.22. You're at 83.42. Healthcare's just been beaten down. But let's look at Thursday. We had PanW, which was right after their earnings, the cross up. It was a secondary cross up. You're still in this one. It's trading at 184 pre-market, down 2%. If you listen to the algorithm, you bought at 138. So you're still in that one. I said, hey, it's a secondary cross up, and you got this huge gap down here. I think you're probably coming down to the 170s. I wouldn't buy this one at this point, but I personally own quite a bit of it. PanW Boyle, we had a cross up. And Boyle is the one, let's see, it's up slightly to 548 in pre-market. The cross up, it was at 522. I said, hey, if it holds 5, then I think we're in a bull market. I would not buy this one today. Just wait for Monday. Miss some of the run-up. Don't worry about it. Just miss some of the run-up. But 522 was the cross-up. App Harvest, we talked about. I love the company, hate the stock. Stock's at $1.04. It did seem to pop up. The buy-in was at 94 cents. So you're trading at $1. You went up to $1.06, it looks like. Right before earnings. Looks like it's rising. I mean, you got this gap. The gap's up to 127. It's an interesting one because maybe you cover that gap before earnings. But App Harvest, again, in pre-market, it's down 2%, down 2 cents to 104. Pins, we had that cross-up. And I talked about Pinterest having this cross-up at 25.27. You're trading at 24.88. I think I don't know anything. Don't listen to a guy on the internet. Lyft, we had a cross-up. We had a cross-up here at $10.84. You're trading at $10.35 in pre-market, but that was just yesterday. Today's scans, NVIDIA crossed up. Well, duh. I mean, it was up 12%. It got you out with a 40% gain here right before earnings, but boom, 236.58. You're trading at 233 pre-market. I would not buy it at this level, even though it crossed up. Don't buy it. It's too expensive. I think you're coming down probably to at least the 100s at some point in time this year. And I just think you can get it at a better price. Another one that crossed up is SKT. I love this one. I love this one, and I love Simon Property Group. And for the core portfolio, I had to pick one. I picked Simon. And I'll show you. If we go over here and we type in SPG, and we're on Seeking Alpha, you can see over 1 year, Simon Property Group loses 8% versus the S&P loses 5%. Let's look at Tanger, SKT. We'll look at this one. Actually, you know what? I'm going to add in. We'll add in SPG. So we'll compare all three. Here we go. So over 1 year, Tanger is up 17%. The S&P is down 5%. Simon Property Group down 8%. I picked the wrong horse. I totally picked the wrong horse. Year to date, Tanger is up 6%. Simon Property Group is up 4%, and S&P is up about 5%. So I picked the wrong horse. I absolutely picked the wrong horse. But Simon Property Group has a cross up here at 1878. They're trading at 1879 in pre-market. This one doesn't have a ton of pre-market. If you look, and we go over here to FinViz, Simon Property Group has a PE of 1876. Tanger has a PE of 26. So Simon Property Group, in my mind, is undervalued, but there is a significant difference, and I know this just from trading this one. There is a significant difference between the two. Tanger takes their profits not just from rent, but they take a portion of the actual store sales. So as retail was going up and retail was selling, Tanger's actually making more money, and they actually have a higher residency rate than Simon Property Group, because Simon Property Group has higher rents. So Simon Property Group just gets it from rents. But that's the difference. SKT has a cross up. I have friends that still hold SKT. I've been out of it. I own Simon Property Group. So Enphase. This is the solar energy group. And this is one that has just had a horrible one. It's down below the 200-day. You've had your earnings. You don't have any kind of catalyst that's coming up. But 204.73, they're trading at 251. Under 200 is a good buy for this one. We'll pull this one back. You'll see the rise. Let's do a longer term. Let's do a weekly. And you can see this one's just pulling back, hasn't touched the 200-day on the weekly, but the last time it touched the 200-day was 2018. So it's kind of crossed the 50-day. The last time it crossed the 50-day was February of last year when we really saw the market turn down. I would say 200 is probably the pivot point on this one. Right now, the MACD is just super low. If we run the algorithm again, the MACD is just, it's kind of fluttered there. Ever since the stock was trading at about 247 right after earnings, it touched its high at 247. It's low on that candle. I mean, this was 12% candle. This low was 214. It's just kind of slid. The algorithm loses you 16%. Buying and holding this one makes you 12%. Algorithm doesn't completely work, but the reality of the algorithm is the average win is 21%. You win 25% of the time. So I do think that 200 is probably your price point on this one. It's trading at $200.51. It is expensive. Be aware, this is super expensive. The PE is 74. The forward PE is 27. Year to date, it's down 22%. You are 72% above your 52-week low of 118. So it is expensive. It is expensive. But I had a cross up at 204. I think under 200, I think you pull the trigger on that one. Am I? No. I'm a little bit safer. Remember, I'm a boomer. Chances. Podcast favorite, Oracle. For some reason, I don't have this in our core portfolio. I probably should. Oracle has a deal with Uber to take their data into the cloud. That came out with an announcement that popped the stock. We got out of this one with a 6% gain. This one has a buy-in here at 88.58. Right now, it's trading at 87.32. It's down 1.4%. Their earnings are coming up March 10th. This is kind of in the middle range. I mean, do you want to buy it here? I would say probably 85 would be your kind of pivot point on this one. This one doesn't move too much.
It's just a buy and hold. Now, here's the big killer is that Oracle is the one that retires their stock. So they buy back a ton of stock, but their PE is 27. It's super expensive up at this high number. The 52-week high is 91, so you're only 2% below that one. So to get this cross up, I don't know, it's just not super impressive to me. Now, the mean target price is $90. So you're only $2 away from your $90 price target there. You have a bunch of sales here at like $82. I mean, this guy, Jeffrey Henley, sold $32 million at 82. So I'd say 80 is probably, a good floor on this one. They have good earnings, good forward progress, the whole deal. Keeping it to a half hour. So if you have any questions, hit me up in the socials. I want to thank everybody who signed up for Visible Mobile. I woke up and there were a ton of people that signed up. I say they're a sponsor, but I went over it yesterday. I just really kind of put their link. I save $20, you save $20. That's kind of the deal on Visible. When you sign up through the link in the description below. TrendSpider, I had a question about TrendSpider, and let me go over this clearly. If you are just trading kind of casually, you don't need TrendSpider. I will tell you, once you get TrendSpider and you get used to the back testing portion, which I call my algorithm, it is super addictive. You create strategies, you look at strategies, and then you get hand-tied to those strategies. I absolutely believe it's worth $500 a year. I personally pay $500 a year for this. I think I paid a little bit less because I signed up on the Black Friday sale. That's why I was pushing it so hard on Black Friday. If you want to try it out, there's a free 7-day trial. I will tell you, if you're trading casually, I don't know that you necessarily need it. I think you need to understand charting first. Before you put the money in, understand if you're not trading enough to earn at least $500 in a year by trading, don't get it. If you're trading enough to earn $500 a year and you want an additional tool, get it. Just understand it is not plug and play. This is not something where you just plug something and you have to do the work. It is absolutely a tool. It is nothing that's going to guarantee you money. I got a couple of questions on this. It is nothing that's going to guarantee you money. So I do think that it's a great tool for me. I absolutely love it. I use this on a daily basis. Not only do I show you guys this, I hang out on my freaking couch on my laptop and I use TrendSpider. And they just launched Dataflow. And go and look at their YouTube channel. If you want to try it out for 7 days free, go to the link below. Use DSP25 for 25% off if they don't have a sale. If they have a sale, you can absolutely take advantage of it. You can sign up month to month. But there's a free 7-day trial. I would say sign up on a Friday. Use it to set it up on a weekend so you have enough time. But absolutely, I use it. I don't use it to its fullest potential. It is so deep, I don't use it to its full potential. But it is a great tool. And I do like it. But the questions to me is this going to make me money? Hell no, it ain't going to make you money. You have to do the work. It's the same thing as any tool. There's no guarantees in the market. It's all at your own risk. So I'm going to do a video this weekend about Netflix hung. Hopefully I'll do a fire video for you. I also want to do a couple of other things I'm going to set up. I'm working on a new algorithm with the 8 and 21 day EMAs. We have a 65. If you don't know, just watch the video, by the way. Go on to my YouTube channel if you want to see TrendSpider and work and how to set it up. Different people use different TrendSpider setups. My screen looks completely different than most people's. And in fact, yesterday on, I think on the YouTube Live, I think it was Justin who showed it to me, there's a indicator here, the fair value gap, which I looked up last night and I was like, oh my God, how did I not know this? Now, it's not a gap like the gaps in the price, but it's a fair value. And it's not as much of a magnet as the gap snake that I have that's set up, but it's huge. I mean, it just shows you. Look at Oracle right now. Why would I buy here at 88 when the fair value shows me at the price is between 84 and 85? Like I said, under 85, I'd probably buy it. But again, it is not something where you just plug it in and you play it. This is work. And if you don't have time to do work, if you want to listen to a guy on the internet for your stocks, it's not doing work. That's simply listening to a guy, to tell you kind of what to do, and that's not going to work. Cleveland Cliffs is at 1969, under $20. Buy that one all day long. Under $20 buy TQQQ all day long. I mean, if you want simple stuff like that, absolutely 100%. DRN, which is the real estate bull. I mean, look, it's going to bounce off that 200 day at $10. It's at 1102. It's trading at 1069 in pre-market. So if you have any questions, hit me up. But I am happy that you listen. Join our private Facebook group. I've been down a rabbit hole on strategies all week. So I've been posting different strategies in there. Again, this is strategies. Have your own strategy. My strategy is I use my algorithm, the 4-hour algorithm, which I give you if you sign up for TrendSpider. I use that one. I use FinViz. I now use Seeking Alpha to look at comparisons. And I use, investing.com for pre-market stuff. I mean, it's pretty simple. There's 3-4 tools that I use. One of them's paid for. Active Trader Pro, I use for free. I'm a Fidelity user. Active Trader Pro comes free with Fidelity. And freaking Boyle is off to the freaking races. It's up at 576. This one went down to about $5.20, it looks like, in pre-market. So, again, trade at your own risk, but the tools are free. You don't have to sign up for TrendSpider. TrendSpider is just a tool. It's not something that's going to make you money. It's a tool. So understand that you need to develop a strategy that's comfortable for you. There is no wrong strategy. If you lose money, you have to alter your strategy. That's all you need to do. So, but hopefully you're making money. High fives to everybody. Have a great weekend. I look forward to talking to you Monday. See you. Bye. Okay, did I go off on too much of a rant? There were several people who emailed me overnight saying, hey, if I get TrendSpider, is that going to make me money? Because I'm losing money in the market over the last couple of weeks. Lovesack's good. John, have you ordered Lovesack? I've sat in a Lovesack couch, and it was pretty impressive, I got to tell you. And the customization of Lovesack is what really interests me. Did you like it, Larry? I thought I was preachy, but I made it quick. And thank you. But John, Lovesack, I do like that one. And I got to tell you, Sam, if you're listening, if you're out there, Sam, purple's an interesting one. PRPL, for you guys that didn't listen earlier, PRPL. They have their earnings coming up. Their November was the last, from Craig Hallman. Hold to buy from $4 to $6. He moved the price target, and it's immediately moved down. I mean, this is November back here. There's a weekly. Is this a weekly? No, it's a daily. Let's look at a weekly. We'll look at a weekly. And November right here. I mean, the guy upgraded him. And this candle you opened at 353. Your high was 532. And that was probably right where he upgraded him, 532. He said he moved it to a $6 price target. And then immediately, you just kind of moved across. And then today you're down at 422. So, interesting one. Let's quick GarageBand save. An Active Trader Pro, man. Look at Boyle go. You're 8 minutes away, and you're above you're above the Bollinger Bands. I mean, they're wide open right now. That's crazy. And I think the market's down. I mean, the VIX is up at 22. UVIXY should be up. Let's see. The VIX is up 5%. UVIXY is up, Yeah, I mean, it's trading outside the Bollinger Bands there. UVIXI is at 547. So what's that? Yeah, up 10%. It's coming back in line. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm going to up. I got to tell you, I like this Seeking Alpha comparing. And I'm going to put in Monday. Boom, boom, boom. Monday. And I got to figure out a good title because yesterday's title of Margin did nothing. Nobody freaking listened. So type in your suggestions for a, I think I'll just do weekly summary. Weekly market summary in our scans. Do I like this patched in one? I think Pico's the one I typically use. I'll use patched in. We'll use patched in. I like patched in. And we'll insert an ad. And I think Spotify started pulling out freaking ads on me so that you guys aren't hearing them as much. And I did. I woke up and there were like, I think 12 people who signed up for Visible. What's 12 times 20? Hold on. What's 12 times 20?
It's 240.
So I woke up to $240 in credits. That's not bad when you can sleep and you wake up to $240 in your I mean, at this point, I'm not paying a phone bill for a while. That's the good news. TQQQ should be moving down. Yep, it's on the bottom side of the Bollinger Bands. 2173. BABA should be down below 90. I still think anything under 100, I think BABA is a good one. There's my boy Buster. My neighbor's pit bull has a brain tumor and was given just a couple of months to live. That was in October. And the little boy, I shouldn't say little boy. He is a big old pit bull. And he, my favorite memory of living in this house is sitting at this desk working, and I was working for Earthlink. And I'd look over to the windows to my left, and I'd see the UPS truck go. And not 2 feet behind the UPS truck would be Buster running up the hill. Now, mind you, it's about maybe 0.4 miles from the bottom of the hill to the top of the hill. So it's quite a big hill. And Buster would be full stride going up the hill, chasing the UPS truck. And when I first met Buster, scary as F. He is a rescue dog who was in the shelter for, I want to say, 2 years before Darcy got him. And he was a bit aggressive at first. He was not the kindest of individual puppies. But he is a sweetheart. My little Penny. Buster's probably about 60, 70 pounds of pure muscle, pit bull kind of dog. My little Penny bit him on the nose about a month ago when he came up and I was outside with Penny and Daisy, and here comes Buster coming up. Boom, 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 boom. Penny bit the fucker on the nose. Buster just looked at her like, what the fuck are you doing? bitch. Okay, let's see. I focused on Square, OCEA, PRPL, DEC, BA, Netflix. I think Netflix under 100 is just unbelievable. Where's my, there it is, XLF, XLV, we're going to say pins, SKT, RCL. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. And what's our title going to be? Let's see. I'll just put Friday recap. Boyle. Let's see. I'm going to say that might get people's attention. 224. And we'll publish this one. Okay, I like that title. By the way, here, I'm going to put this in the YouTube chat. That's my title. That'll get people's attention to listen. Publish now. And then I am going to copy. And I hate that freaking Anchor still hasn't fixed their damn Twitter integration, but oh well. Square, we're going to go SPY, SQQ, TQQ. I hate Jim Cramer. Man, Jim Cramer is just... Oh, you know what I didn't look at? And I do need to look at this. LUNDR. James, if you're here, man, I think Decker shoes is what the biggest mistake that Warren Buffett ever made is what he says, I think. We're going to cut all this out. Tweet. Okay, and then we'll tweet it out again. And anybody have any questions? It's a boring day today because I'm going to get out of here because it's nice out and I've got to go clean up my yard while there's no rain going. We're going to put in TSLA. Everything's down today. Wow. Devon's down big. NVIDIA's in there. SOXL. AMD. QQQ. Lucid. PLTR. Ford. Intel. SOSXS. Okay, we'll do that. Okay.
me up with a eternal lecture tweet. Okay. No. I'll close this out. Oh, here we go. Add impressions. See, I don't get to see this. It's 80 degrees here, Joe. Man, see, they ain't playing ads for me. That's clear. Okay. So it looks like they started ads on December 21st. That's when I signed up with their ad program. And they ain't doing shit with ads. Huh. And I have somebody in Sweden who messaged me yesterday, who said, "Hey, do you have any other listeners in Sweden?" And I said, I sent him the geographic location graph that Anchor provides me, and it says less than 1%. I know I hear a bunch from people in New Zealand and Australia. I hear from one person in the United Kingdom, which I have 2%. So the three countries that are above 1% are US 84%, Canada has 3%, and United Kingdom has 2%. Everybody else is less than 1%. But I think there's over 110 countries that have listened. And that's just over the last 30 days. So that's over the last 30 days. If I change that to all time, it doesn't change. This is funny, man. So 70% of the listeners listen on Spotify, and 67% of the listeners are on iPhone. 25% on Android and 7% other. That 7% might be computers and stuff. Because I think there's only two major. I mean, who's freaking using a BlackBerry listening to me? I do find it a little disheartening that only 11% are female. I'd like more females listening to me because I do think that there is an underrepresentation in the investment community by females. I commend CNBC specifically for having so many females on their staff. That is something that I personally notice. So, Jesus. Yeah, I saw some of the Reed Timmer, who is a famous storm chaser on Instagram. You can look him up, Reed Timmer. But he was in California yesterday in the mountains looking at all of the snow that they had, which is crazy. I need to send my buddy some stuff. Here, I'll switch it back over to... This is what I'm looking on Apple. Apple, I mean, it's clear we're covering this gap down to 146. It's at 146.78. So we're going to cover that today. Whether we shoot back up or not, I don't know. The 200 days kind of just moving sideways.
Nothing super positive about it. It's paid its dividend. No catalyst on the horizon. Google. Google is down another 1.3%. Your boy bought at 100. Bought a couple $1,000 worth at 100. I'm not too worried about it. The RSI is down at 33. The MACD is really crossing down here. You can see it here. Their earnings are coming up April 25th. So no real catalyst in here. Hey, Jeff. Yeah, New Zealand, man. You guys love me for some reason. Must be the Jersey accent. It's the whole Tony Soprano thing. And by the way, Jeff, I love your freaking country. I have not been. I went to Australia in 2016, I think it was, for 3 weeks on a personal trip. And I essentially started in Sydney, drove all the way up to Brisbane. Brisbane was the city that I absolutely loved. And God, if I could live in Brisbane. But your country was what every Australian said as I was hiking through Waterfall Alley and things in Australia. Everybody said, you've got to go to New Zealand. So, and I'm dying to get back there. Look at this ascending triangle that you broke out on Alphabet. Do I have any? The only thing in the green right now is UNH. In the core portfolio, I should say. Let's go over, if you want to look at this will open up at 9:45 because I don't pay for it. But this heat map on FinViz will show you it's a 15-minute delay if you're not a subscriber. So won't show me until then. Okay, with that, I am out of here. I got some stuff to do that on the computer that's private. Share some learnings with some friends and people that I mentor. Nothing that I haven't shared with you guys. It's just sharing more positions and things of that sort that are a little bit more personal. So, boy, this is interesting. Insider transactions of ET Energy Transfer. Guy just bought $17 million worth of Energy Transfer. Whew. Let's look at Energy Transfer. That's a lot of insider buying at Energy Transfer. Look at that. You just broke through the 200-day on the weekly. Oh, I'll be right back. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Disconnect. No, Brian. Hopefully you're still here. I don't know how many people are actually watching. Brian, no. If you're a day trader, the best time, and you're looking to actually, the time to trade for a day trader is the morning. And the reason is because volume typically shows up in the morning. Here, I'll show you. Look at SPY. And this is a 4-hour algorithm. So each candle in this, you can just look. We'll just take a look. Each candle, it represents, one candle represents morning. That's the morning. That's the afternoon. That's the next morning. That's the afternoon. That's the next morning. That's the afternoon. Notice here, all of the mornings are bigger. And the reason for that is there's more volume in the morning. So if you're day trading, you want volume. So I will leave you on that one because I've got to get out of here. Dogs are crying. They need to go outside. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate you.